What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Monster Hunter World. I've been getting requests from people asking me to make a video like this, talking about the ways in which I prepare for missions in Monster Hunter World. I've been playing Monster Hunter games a lot since 2005, and a lot of that experience has paid off for me here in Monster Hunter World, and I'd like to share some of that, the kinds of trains of thought, I guess, that I have when preparing for a mission. So the first thing I want to address is what is probably one of the most important things, is understanding the monster that you're fighting. When you're going out on a mission, you probably already know which monster you're going to be hunting. Sometimes you don't, but most of the time you do. And it's a really good habit, I think, especially because I think most of us are not going to have this entire research log memorized. It's a really good habit, I think, to come back here and to refresh your memory on the kinds of strengths and weaknesses that the monster has that you're about to be hunting. For example, with the Great Jagras, you don't want to be using a water weapon. You'll be dealing a lot less damage than you could be dealing if you were, say, using a fire weapon, or even a thunder or an ice weapon, which is also a really good choice for an element to have on your weapon. Speaking of elements on your weapons, you don't necessarily need an element type on your weapon, but I do think that it is a really good idea to have an element and to have a variety of weapons that have different elements to suit the needs for the monster you're about to be hunting. So have a fire weapon, have a water, a thunder, an ice weapon, and hopefully also have different weapon types as well. Because, well, we'll get into that more about weapons and armor, but yeah, variety is the spice of life, and it is also, I think, one of the keys to the success that I've had in Monster Hunter games. But yeah, understanding the kind of elements that you're facing against with the monsters you're hunting is really, really crucial, I think. It's also going to tell you the kinds of armor that is going to be effective or ineffective against the monster that you're hunting. So if you're going out to hunt a high-ranking Anjanath, then, well, you want to make sure that you have some fire defense and you don't want to be using a fire weapon. It's really just that simple. Come here, look for the X's, and plan accordingly. Simply having a strong set of armor that protects you against the element that the monster is wielding, while also having the right element on your weapon to damage the enemy with, should be plenty to get you through the fight. When it comes to items, I kind of have a general collection of items that I always bring with me, but some are more critical to bring than others. Potion and Mega Potion, Herbal Medicine, Mega Nutrients, and Well Done Steak. I always carry these with me no matter what. Rations, I'm feeling more and more like I don't need to bring these with me because, well, most missions will give you basic rations anyway in the item box, and, well, with Well Done Steaks, then you should be covered anyway in that regard. Depending on how confident you are with your armor, you may or may not also want to bring something like Armor Skin, which is going to boost your defense. Now, some missions are going to tell you to capture, others are just going to tell you to hunt. Me, I try to capture as many as I can for the extra mats, and so I bring the traps and the trank bombs to make that possible. And since you can only bring one of each, I also bring the materials needed to craft another one of each of these in case I botch planting a shock or a pitfall trap, which can happen sometimes, or maybe you might plant it a bit too early and the monster isn't tired enough to be caught or something like that. So it does take up quite a bit of space, but it's worth it in my opinion. Unless you're really hard set to go out there and collect a whole lot of items, then yeah, these are the kinds of items that I recommend bringing with you on a regular basis. When it comes to equipment, particularly with weapons, what often gets asked, especially by newer players, is what's the best weapon, or what's the best weapon type to use in the game? And the right answer, which isn't 100% true, is that there is no best weapon or best weapon type in the game. It should be encouraged that players try out different weapons that is going to better suit their playstyle, because some of these weapons are going to just feel better to some players than they do to others. The kinds of combos they can perform, the speed and stuff like that. Some people like melee, some people like ranged with bow guns, like the heavy, light, and regular bows. Some people like fast, some people like slow. So your personal playstyle, I think, is more important than DPS numbers, definitely. So it's the right answer to encourage people to try out and to have the most fun with the weapons that they are most comfortable with. However, it isn't 100% true, in my opinion, that there aren't better weapon types against certain enemies that you're going to be facing. So for example, one of the earliest lessons that I learned in Monster Hunter is that trying to use a heavy, slow weapon like a greatsword against a fast, small enemy can really be a pain in the ass, if not really difficult to complete a mission. So getting comfortable with some of the faster weapons, it could really help you out with some monster encounters. Try to get comfortable with the dual blades, the light bowgun, or something like that, instead of just sticking and maining maybe a greatsword. And honestly, I find that it's a lot more fun to play Monster Hunter by exploring the different weapon types. So try it out. Once I got access to the high-ranking missions and the high-rank tab here under the Forge Armor section, I gave a lot of thought into what kind of armor I wanted to start crafting in the short term and also in the long term. Now, the headpiece that I'm using came from a limited time event. It has a nice amount of defense and also some good defense against fire, water, and ice elements, but there are some other good options here that I want to kind of point out, not just for head, but also good options for the other pieces of armor as well. Honestly, the bone set comes close, I think, to being one of, if not the best set that you could start crafting some pieces from, because it has a nice natural amount of defense that is likely an upgrade from just about any low rank set. Plus it has good elemental strengths against fire, thunder, and dragon. But I didn't want to just flat out create an entire bone set and only have strengths there. So I went with the Hunter's Alpha, nice defense like the bone armor does, and instead of thunder, what I get is I get some water defense from this as well. And I don't use a horn, and I don't play with parties often, so I don't need Horn Maestro or Master Fisher. That was another reason why I chose to go with the Hunter's set with the Master Gatherer, which is going to give you bonus items on gathering, and some stealth, which doesn't hurt either. For hand guards, the Kestodon Guards Alpha was an easy choice. These guys are still really easy to kill, even at high-ranking missions. To get these materials is hardly a mission in itself, and these gloves will come with a really nice amount of defense naturally, and also good strong defense against fire element. For the boots, I kind of chose these mainly based on the materials that I had at the time, and didn't find any major faults in the elemental balance or the skills that were available. I think that Botanist will come in handy for me personally. Spore Buff Expert, not so much. And you may be wondering actually whether you should be crafting alpha or beta versions of these sets. What I'm hearing from players much higher into high-ranking missions than myself, they're saying go ahead and craft the alpha version. It'll come with some good skills, and later on, once you have really good decorations to put into the slots, then go ahead and craft whatever beta version of whatever set it is that you're looking to craft into. Unless, for example, it has like a really bad skill set that you're just completely uninterested in having, but you still want that set, then go for the alpha. So yeah, like here with the bone alpha, he might be more interested in having that slot open rather than having Master Fisher, I think, for a lot of people that are serious about the hunt. And maybe in that case, if you're really dead set on crafting the bone set, then go for the beta than the alpha. But yeah, there's a lot of options here. Just keep in mind and try to strike a nice balance when it comes to elemental defenses, and you should be okay. Same goes for Palico armor. While they don't necessarily seem like the most important thing to our loadout, they are still quite important if you're out there, especially solo hunting. Keep in mind the kinds of equipment that you're using for your Palico. I went ahead and made the feline Puke bow. I like the melee and ranged damage that it provided, as well as having some poison damage that will probably come in handy for a lot of fights. And I got the Puke hood as well, had a nice amount of defense, only some weakness to thunder. And then I also picked up the bone set to make up for a little bit of that thunder elemental defense while still having a nice amount of natural defense at 30. What about meals, you may ask? What kind of meals should you be eating before you go out on a mission? Well, again, it kind of depends on the kind of mission that you're doing, what monsters you're fighting. Honestly, a lot of missions I won't even bother eating a meal because I don't feel like I necessarily need it. The items that I'm carrying with me, the mega nutrients, well-done steaks should be enough for a lot of the fights. But the chef's choice platter gives me often a really high amount of health and stamina, as well as to my Palico, so I tend to pick that up, and those numbers vary depending on the fresh ingredients that you have. There's also the option to, create your own meal, design your own platter or whatever, which I haven't done a whole lot of, but I imagine if you have a lot of really fresh ingredients, then that could be really good for you as well. Just use this, I guess, as a means to kind of fill in whatever attack, elemental, or defensive bonuses you feel you may want for the upcoming fight. We got our easy potions and rations. I already ate my steak, drank my nutrients, and we are ready for the hunt. So this is a mission to fight both Great Jagras and Puke in the same mission. Oh, look at that. There's our Great Jagras already. Let's go get him. And he's going to eat a belly full, which is going to make this fun and interesting. Let's see if we can't knock that out of him. I don't think he liked his meal being interrupted. That's too bad. So yeah, when he's eating, he likes to belly roll a lot. And if you can hit the stomach, chest, pocket, whatever enough times, then you can really you can really upset his meal so much that it could even pop out. Let's go ahead and get some hammering on the head going here. Hold on. Oh man, I stabbed him right in the eye. Well, we're off to a good start here, I think. Already found the Great Jagras, and about to give it to him. Give it to him! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice. Break your face! Let's see if we can't get some more hits on that stomach. Oh, look at that. He's got this purple crap coming out of his mouth. Oh, man. He's gonna need some stomach medicine after this. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be over so soon, isn't it? Wow! That was a lot of pain dealt in a short amount of time, and look at him! Wow! I've never seen him leave in such a hurry. Okay. Don't forget to look for some great materials. Good stuff. Excellent start to this. We're gonna have plenty of time. This may be one of the fastest Great Jagras hunts I've ever done, actually. Oh, hang on a second. Is he sleeping? He's totally sleeping. Alright, well, in that case... No, don't start with me, normal Jagras. There we go. No thanks to these little twerps. We've got ourselves a Great Jagras in really good time. While I'm out on missions, I'm also trying to pick up as many materials as I need, or maybe you just want to stock more up on. Understanding what items you use the most and what materials are needed to craft those items is really important to start understanding as early as possible, because then you can start like setting up your oh, I think we found it. I just saw the tail. Then you can start setting up your farms to get you extra items to make it easier to have enough. I've got my farm set up that it's producing honey and bugs, bitter bugs. How you doing there, buddy? Just out for a stroll? That's cool. Stop screaming so that way it can hit you. As usual, it's not prepared for the fight, so it wants to run away. But as soon as it gets to an area it's more comfortable with, then the real fight will begin. Alright, cool. Yeah? You ready for this? Wait for it. That's interesting. I didn't get a mount. Is that because it's stunned? Ah. Let's try that again. It's actually kind of interesting. Maybe I'm swinging too early? I don't know. That's really odd. Usually it mounts every single time. Now that it's not blinded... Hang on a second. Come on, get up there. There we go. That's interesting. I never noticed that before. If it's already stunned by a firefly or something like it, ooh, then it won't let you mount it. That's all right. Not like stabbing in the eye, just like the Jagras before. Alright, now, let's see if we can just knock some... Uh-oh! I didn't even see the Paratoad there. Oh, it's hilarious. It's like on a little log, so my hits aren't connecting as good as they should. Well, neither is it. I try to stay to the side and somewhere around the legs as much as possible. Otherwise, you're going to get hit by its head attacks, its tail attacks often, like that. And even then, it's never 100%. Ah, guaranteed. Yeah, I know that hurt. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Alright, well, I ain't got time to heal up. I want to take advantage of this. There we go. It's kind of a gamble. I should be getting rid of that poison as quickly as possible. But I want to get in as much damage as I can before it tries to run away. I think it's actually limping already. Ah! Yeah, it's trying to get away desperately. There it goes. Yeah, that poison wasn't too bad. Nothing a little potion can't handle. If the Puke Puke is where I think it is, then this fight is already over. Oh yeah, there he is. He's up there on his, little snack bar. This will be over in a second. And it's over. Anytime I see Puke Puke up here, I know all I gotta do is trap him. And then that's it. The fight's already over. And that's it. That is basically how I go about any given fight. Alright guys, that's going to do it here for this intermediate guide to becoming a better hunter in Monster Hunter World. A lot of this stuff I think a lot of us already knew, but you know, a little refresher is good every once in a while. If you have any other tips and tricks that you'd like to share, words of advice for some of the less experienced hunters, leave those in the comments section. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, showing off different hunting highlights and stuff. I hope that you're looking forward to it. In the meantime, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Click the like button to support Monster Hunter World here on the channel, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll wink you next time.